Good blessed Friday evening, June the 7th, 2024. It's about 5 o'clock p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say or do, that's your prerogative. You have a First Amendment to the United States Constitution, a freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom to protest, freedom to gather, freedom to associate. In some cases, I always tell people that some people, if you're on probation or parole, you can't associate with other felons or other people on probation or parole. What I want to talk about today, y'all, is I want to first thank God for turning me around some years ago, over 40 years ago, turning me around. When I say turning me around, not allowing me to react negative every time something negative happened to me. I just want to show y'all a couple of videos. You know, Charles, Missouri police officer, you know, he seemed to be cool. You know, he respect me. I respect him. I was having a problem with my 2006 Chevy Suburban with the transmission. And he referred me to somebody. So I went down there on May the 30th, talked to the guy. Guy got his own shop, machinery. And I asked him, I told him what was going on. My a transmission didn't want to shift into the next gear. Oh, he said he had plenty of those. You know, he know what the problem is. And he told me it'll be $1,600. And I told him I had a shifting cable that I brought from the dealership that I was going to have that put in. He said that'll be in with the $1,600. So he told me he needed $1,000 down. I gave him $1,000 down on January the 30th. I was going to Joliet, Illinois, in the Chicago, Illinois area, a little bit ways from Chicago, maybe about 45 minutes. To my oldest granddaughter's wedding, my son, Brian Lamont Johns, may he rest in peace, who was hung, murdered, a staged suicide in Carbondale, Illinois, Jackson County on Friday, March the 19th, 2021. But anyway, I was going to his daughter's wedding. And when I got to the wedding, on my way to the wedding, the mechanic called me and told me he needs some transmission fluid. And normally when you buy a pay to get your transmission taken care of, you know, that come with it. But I called Tire and Parts, Gary here in Charles, Missouri, somebody I know. He know me and my daughters. We get along real well. I asked him, can I pay over the phone with my credit card? He know me, he let me pay. The guy told me I needed 11 quarts of transmission fluid and I think 4 quarts of oil, because he was saying something about my oil low, but it wasn't low when I took it over there. But I just went on and gave it to him. You know, I paid for all of it. It was about $70-something, $75 or more dollars. But the bottom line is, this was on January the 30th when I took my vehicle there. He told me my vehicle would be ready in a couple of days. A couple of days turned into 4 months. He had told me when he said he rebuilt my transmission, bought new clutches and everything. Then it didn't shift, and he told me that it was some other thing. Then he told me it was the transmission valve body. I had a certified mechanic down there that went down there with me just to check to see what was the status on my vehicle. He showed me this little flat part that's called the transmission valve body. He said, I know this is it. He said, this here, he pointed on something in it. He said, this is not sucking the transmission in, something to that effect. But I know the part, that's the part he said he needed. That wasn't the problem. Then he told me, he said, well, it's your transmission computer module. So he took my transmission computer module out and got another older one, one from another vehicle. He said that didn't work. So he said he was ordering one. He said if it didn't work, he said then you don't have to pay for it. He said he paid $115 for it. Anyway, he said that didn't work. Then he said he took my transmission out and he had a rebuilt one at his house and put that one in. And he said that didn't work. So, you know, 4 months passed, and now he telling me, he said, I went down and I said, man, what's going on? He said, oh, it got to be your transmission harness wires. But my vehicle just sitting. 9 out of 10 times when I went down there, my vehicle was outside sitting in different places. Wouldn't even start. Me and my daughter decided to go down there and get it. Now, the only thing was wrong with my transmission, it wouldn't shift. It wasn't leaking. And I have 2 mechanics, white and black, one in Charleston, both of them certified, and one in sites in Missouri that can verify that. It wasn't leaking. Anyway, when I went down there to get it, I brought it back to the house, and I made videos right after I brought it back to the house and parked it. I could see leaks. I looked up under it, I could see leaks, and had a white mechanic look. I videoed him taking the dipstick out of the transmission after we let it warm up some, and he showed him how low it was, and we talking to him on the phone, the mechanic. And he said, oh no, it can't be that low. And he said it wasn't leaking down in my shop. His shop to my house is about 2-3 miles, give or take. Same town. But anyway, I want to show y'all what condition my vehicle was in 4 months later. Now, he ain't offering to give me none of my money back. You see what I'm saying? I'm old enough to be his daddy. And he talked to me like he had talked to somebody's child that he didn't like. When I asked him to give me some receipts, I texted him, my phone, I called him, give me some receipts, everything that you did to my vehicle, so I can see if you did this here or not. So I went down there on the 30th, not on the 30th of May, 2 days ago. What is the day, the 7th? It must have been the 5th that I went down there. And he was taking so long to make the receipt out, so I went outside. Now, it was him. I don't know if this young guy was his son, and another guy. He wasn't old, but he was a grown man. He was the only one really showed me some respect down there. When I went outside, stayed out there about 15 or 20 minutes, and the guy came out. This guy seen me when I brought my vehicle in. This guy watches my YouTube videos. This guy was respectful. But when I first brought it down, and he was respectful when he seen that I wasn't pleased about the condition of my vehicle being worse than it was worse than it was when I took it down there. It ain't shifting, and now it's leaking. But he came out and he said, Mr. Raymond, he said, your receipt ready. So when I go in there to get the receipt, he ain't showing me, hey, how y'all doing? Blessed by the best, man. He ain't showing me no receipts of what he bought. He writing down on his invoices what he did. And then he said, I'll read it to you. I'm 66 years old with a college education, a former EMT instructor and CPI instructor, taught ABE, adult basic education, and he gonna read it to me. He made me feel like it was slavery time when Negroes couldn't read. And I said, I don't need you to read it to me. I need to see it. Hell, you ain't fixed my vehicle, so what would I trust what you reading me for? And he had the audacity to tell me I can't get the receipt unless I signed it. when I looked at the first two things and he said, we dropped the transmission, I told him I ain't signing this. I don't know what you did to my vehicle. One thing about it, I know my vehicle is the same condition it was when I brought it down here. And not only that, it's even worse. It's leaking transmission fluid. Then I said on the receipt, I said, put the date that I brought it down here. I don't know the date you brought it down here. I said, I do, January the 30th. And he gonna tell me, first he tell his son, I guess, to go in the back. I guess I supposed to have been terrified. Hell, if I ain't terrified of these so-called gangsters, what I'm going to be terrified of you for? If I ain't terrified of the police, the sheriff, and the judges, why am I going to be terrified of you? You can send everybody to the back. You see what I'm saying? Talking about, dog, you ain't going to be talking sassy to me. What the hell you mean sassy? I'm 66 years old, man. Then he don't want to put that on there. Telling me to put it on there and put it the date that I came and got it, May the 30th. He don't want to put that, cause what the hell in 4 months have you did? And when I'm going to show y'all my vehicle ain't here now. I had it towed somewhere else to somebody I know that's certified. You see what I'm saying? And when I got it there, people heard me talking to other mechanics that was around that didn't even work at that particular shop. When I told him, first he said it was this, then he said it was that. Now he's saying it's the harness wise. He said they say he must have ran out of guesses. You see, I'm going to show you my driveway. And then I want y'all to look at these videos now. I'm going to show the driveway last. But you're going to see the videos when I first brought it home. Another thing, he said, oh, it was leaking oil. It was leaking antifreeze. I didn't send it down there for no leaks of oil or antifreeze, which, I know it wasn't. But I paid you $2,000. I paid for the transmission fluid in oil. When I came down the next day, you told me had some oil leaks. I asked you, what does it cost to fix that? And you told me $400. You said it was a rear seal leak. And then you found out when I brought this one mechanic down there, a certified mechanic that went to school for this shit. They worked at car dealerships in Sikeston, Charleston, and in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And he was down there with me when you told me that it was the valve, the transmission valve cover. But see, one thing about it, this mechanic and the other mechanics know what you did. Wouldn't nobody send no vehicle back. You talking about you didn't send it back. You had it for 4 damn months. My vehicle was sitting down. Me and my daughter, it took about down there 20 minutes to get my vehicle started. You talking about ever since I had it down there, y'all had to jump it. But why when I got it back home, I didn't have to jump it? Why when the tow man came, he didn't have to pull it up? I drove it up on this damn thing. And I'm going to show you on my video. Why when we took it to the shop that I took it to, why did we have to, why was we able to back it up off of there and not just let it roll up off of there? You know why? Because whatever y'all was doing down there, you ain't fixed my transmission, man. I asked you to give me a picture of my transmission that you took out of, you said you rebuilt the one that you put in. You rebuilt mine, it didn't work, then you took mine out. But I asked you to let me take a picture of mine, and you told me it ain't at the shop. You don't have no room at the shop, so it's at home. It's at your house. What else is at your house? How many other people's parts is at your house? But I'm going to leave this here alone. You can get on my video and say what you want to say. You see what I'm saying? Any of your buddies, y'all can say what you want to say. Your police friends, y'all can say what you want to say. I ain't going to respond because I said you got a freedom of speech. But when you come to 613 Vine with that shit, it's going to be a whole different damn thing. Peace be still. Transmission fluid on them boats. This pan is wet with either transmission fluid or it's right by this oil filter. see this oil, you know, this leak. I don't know what none of these leaks is coming from. You know what I mean? Once you done fixed everything that you said you done stop these leaks, I'm sure you cleaned this here, but these is fresh drops right here. I can see it on my ground, and it's hanging from the thing.
Be careful, don't burn yourself.
Leaking right over here too on the other corner. Both corners is leaking from the transmission pan in. Yep. It's leaking from both ends. We got it started, and I clamped everything off all around. I clamped all the way around. It's leaking, and it's leaking on the pipe here too. I want you to check this here out. Whoever did the transmission fluid, I just want to let you see that we checking the transmission fluid.
It's bone dry.
Show them where is it at?
Way down here.
Let me get it closer. And I know I paid like $77 for it on January the 30th and sent my daughters with the transmission fluid down there with you. If y'all can see these two hoses right here where let me see where my hands is at. They leading up to the heater core. And you can see these clips right here. Up under there, you see these white things here. One of them was leaking. These is connectors to the heater core hoses. These is the two things that was on there. One of them was bad, but I changed them myself. I went and bought them and changed them myself. He was saying it was leaking, but I fixed that myself. I didn't ask him to fix this here. I didn't even know it was leaking. I don't know if there's something that was done to it when it was down there or not. I don't know. I ain't even blaming him for it. I did that myself. This is something that he said he put on. Let me see if I can get this thing. This is a transmission. This little box here is the transmission control module, and it appeared to look new. Okay, I don't know if he programmed it right or not, but I'm finna take you up under my vehicle and show you something. Now this was left when I came after 4 months of being down there. It wasn't leaking when it left. After 4 months of coming down there, being down in his shop, when I came back here, this was there. You don't see none of that shit down here, do you? You see what I'm saying? This is what was left. This is what was dripping out of my thing. But I'm gonna leave it at this here. I'm gonna let God handle this here. I'm getting my vehicle diagnosed to see what's really wrong with it. And I doubt very seriously it's gonna take 4 months. And I doubt very seriously when I took it down there when it was just dripping transmission fluid, I'm almost sure that the motor ain't gonna be hanging out or something else. And then when he put the cable, shipping cable in, mine got drive 321. When you put the shipping cable on, it should be able to go park, reverse, neutral, drive 321. It'll go into everything but one. So what did you do with that? I'm going to leave this here alone. Peace, be still. It's my type of work, y'all. Saving lives.